Hello, folks. This is Kevin from Good Day, Good Prayers with another update. Today, we are seeing the Democrats melting down. It has begun. The situation is going to become most likely devastating as the Democrats are now calling for the military to not cooperate with the orders that are given from Pete Hegseth and Donald Trump. So this is going to be a real situation that is going to hurt the Democrats in the long run. They are trying to shield themselves from a lot of things that have been happening. One of the things that happened, the Jeffrey Epstein files are to be released, and enough Democrats came on board to get that passed in both the House and Senate, and President Trump on the 19th then signed it into law. Well, now the situation is kind of becoming desperate for the Democrats, as they are beginning to realize that many people in their ranks are going to be hurt by the release of the remainder of the Epstein files. Now they need to try to get ahead of that by changing the narrative. And so one of the things that they're trying to do is to get the military to not cooperate with the administration. And this is going to be something that is going to hurt a lot of Democrats. Many Democrats have called for all kinds of insurrection, not just for the military to not cooperate, but for people to go out and to hurt certain individuals. MAGA is not safe in some parts of the country now, and President Trump, I am certain, is probably not safe in some parts of the country either. And this is becoming very desperate. Now, in January, there is going to be a grand jury that is going to be sitting. This is going to be taking place in Florida. And the grand jury is going to be listening to much of the Russia gate and some of the other things that happened during the Obama administration. I believe that they're also going to be hearing some information that came out during the Biden administration. Now, if that doesn't happen with this same grand jury, it will happen shortly after that. Now, there's also going to be a number of people that are going to be having to deal with the idea of the Epstein files finally being released in their entirety. I believe that you're going to see a lot of people who are presently in D.C. Getting out of D.C. One of the people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, has already said that she will not be running for re-election. There are several others on the Democrat side that have said that they're going to retire from Congress. I believe that a number of these people are giving up much of the monies that they had stolen from the American people and are agreeing to never run for office again in order to not be indicted. And I think that that is going to be a wave of the future. Now, giving up the money that they had taken from the American people is going to mean that it will be going into the Treasury Department coffer, and it will be going back to the American people. Eventually, this is going to happen. Now, the other day, Saudi Arabia had a forum, and during that forum, they had invited Elon Musk to speak, and they asked him a number of questions. And I thought that some of the things that he had to say were very interesting. One of them was that here in the near future, people are going to be able to have the choice of whether or not they want to work. The economic system is going to become such that people are going to become their own entities. There will still be a group of working class people, most likely, but most people are going to decide that they want to be investors, or they want to be inventors, or they want to be some of these kinds of things. In the future, there's going to be all kinds of opportunities. Over 6,000 patents are going to be released, and people will be able to do a lot of things with replicators and so on. The need for the mass manufacturing that we've had in the past is not going to be there anymore. There will be some companies that are still doing that kind of thing. However, they're not going to necessarily need as many workers as they have in the past. And more people are going to be independent. As I said before, President Trump wants everybody to have the ability to become millionaires and multimillionaires, and as many as can possibly make it become billionaires. This is a major switch from what the globalists wanted. They wanted us to all be broke. They wanted to be the only ones that had wealth. And so it was unusual for people who were outside of their group to be able to make it into the millionaire slots and the billionaire slots. But with President Trump, he wants everybody, of course, to become millionaires. I told you that in 1991 that God told me to get out of the Democrat Party because they were going to be judged. Now, I was still in my 30s at that time, and when he told me this, I was kind of surprised. But I fought with God for at least a year. I actually told God that he was wrong, that the Democrat Party was for the people. I honestly believed that. I heard it on the news, and so therefore it was true. I was one of those people that believed that idiocy. But one day, it was in February of 1992, God literally yelled at me and he said, "I told you to get out of the Democrat Party. It's going to be judged." And that frightened me. It really frightened me. I had never heard the audible voice of God that loud. And I came out of the Democrat Party. Now, you know the rest of the story. I went into the Republican Party. I was there for 12 years, and I realized that many of the people in the Republican Party were actually Democrats. And that was when I found that interview with Bill Clinton, that he said that low-level Democrats had been put into the Republican Party. They were built up by the media, and then they wound up getting elected as Republicans. But they were Democrats in Republican clothing, literally. And so that is what we are beginning to see right now, is the beginning stages of the judgment of the Democrat Party. It's going to be a bad situation, and we might as well understand that. It will be very difficult for a lot of people who have voted Democrat for their whole lives to see that their party is going to be broken up. Judgment is coming to the Democrat Party, and we are going to be seeing it. It is going to hit them like a ton of bricks, and it's going to be very difficult for them to be able to have much representation in the future because of the fact that the Democrat Party is going to be so disliked by the American people. One of the things that we are going to see is the Jeffrey Epstein situation, and this is going to hit the Democrats very hard. There will be Republicans that will wind up being caught up in it, but many of those are going to be Democrats in Republican clothing. This is Calvin from Good Day, Good Prayers, and I want you to have a good day. A good day always starts with good prayers, and if they reach the throne of God, that's your key. You are going to have a good day. And so, with that being said, you folks have a good day.